Health is life. Your health matters. You matter. Health begins in the spirit and the mind. Take time to love you. Live well. Be well.
Let's go!
Health matters to me.
Come on, get up, cause you tuned into the station for your morning motivation to get your education for your health and your spiritual needs.
Health matters to me.
Yeah, strong will to empower the people, to promote the peace, no positive attitudes, behavior, that's a lifelong dream goal.
Health matters to me.
Yeah, health matters and we're here to help you become the better you, to be the best you, the best version you can be.
Health matters to me.
Yeah, and it's time for this classic, fantastic food for your soul. Here's Jackie and Coach Patrick right here. Let's go.
Health matters to me.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jackie.
And Coach Patrick.
And welcome to Health Matters Live podcast, where your health matters.
Yes, it does. Listen, we want you to join us here every Saturday at 9 a.m. as we bring you relevant information as it pertains to your health and your well-being. We'll be having healthcare professionals and other professionals come on the show to assist us in helping you to be the best you that you can be as it pertains to your health and your well-being.
Guys, you know what to do. Make sure you go over there and like our Facebook page, Get Fit with Jackie Fitness, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Health Matters, Jackie and Coach.
Yes. Make sure you do that. Birthdays and anniversaries, Jackie.
Woo! Yeah.
So birthdays for a great month of September. Happy birthday to everybody that's celebrating a birthday. Happy birthday to me. I celebrated my birthday this month. Thank you guys for all your kind
This past Tuesday, you celebrate your birthday this past Tuesday.
Yes, I did.
So happy birthday. And I want to send a special shout out. Today is my older sister birthday in Mobile, Alabama. Happy birthday, Lavinia. I'm going to give you some applause. Yes.
Love you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. And may God continue to bless you guys with more and more. So those who we have not said happy birthday to you guys. Happy born day.
Most definitely.
To you. Is always a privilege and an honor, and that we get to celebrate another born day.
Live another year.
Amen.
Yes. And happy anniversary to everybody that's celebrating an anniversary in this great month of September. Whether you tied the knot, jumped the broom, however you did it. Listen, continue to build family, continue to love, becoming one as God has told us to be, and make memories. Just make memories. Guys.
Absolutely.
Enjoy.
Absolutely. Yes.
All right. If you'd like to be a sponsor, a partner, or a friend of the Health Matters broadcast, you can call 706-592-8862. We would love for you to partner with us to help us do what we do every Saturday at 9 a.m. right here on our Health Matters podcast. So, Jackie, we're going to do some Health Matters happenings. How about that?
Do some house cleaning, clean the house.
All right. Clean the house.
Yeah, clean the house.
All right. That's our Health Matters happenings jingle. And every Saturday we try to bring you something that's relevant to your health. Could be an alert about food or anything. So this morning is just about disparities in suicide, because we've been talking about suicide prevention last week, because this is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. And I just want to hit on a couple of disparities in suicide. Suicide and suicide attempts are serious public health challenges. These events can have lasting emotional, mental, and physical health impacts, as well as economic consequences. They can also impact people who struggle with their own risk of suicide and or mental health challenges called live experiences. Suicide and suicidal behavior are influenced by negative conditions in which people live, play, work, and learn. So we can see this affects us in every area of life. These conditions, sometimes called social determinants of health, can include racism and discrimination in our society, economic hardships such as high unemployment, poverty, limited affordable housing, lack of educational opportunities, and barriers to physical and mental healthcare access, among others. Additional factors that can increase suicide risk include relationship problems or feeling a lack of connectedness to others, easy access to lethal means among people at risk, experience of violence such as child abuse and neglect, adverse childhood experiences, bullying, and serious health condition. Listen, to get more information about suicidal disparities, visit the cdc.gov website. Go up to the search bar and just put in suicide disparities, and you'll get a plethora of information about suicide disparities. This has been Your Health Matters Happenings.
All right, guys. Remember, guys, we are talking about suicide prevention. And so, guys, any way that we can help prevent suicide. So, Coach Patrick and I is bringing you awareness. We're bringing you information about suicide prevention, information that we research that is evidence-based. Get help. You know, the 988 number is that's a lifeline number, and you can call 24/7, 365 days a year.
That's right. So it's always available.
Yes.
It's always available.
And always remember to check up on your loved ones, check up on people, make sure, they are okay. Don't assume they are okay. Make sure people are okay. I haven't heard from you in a while. I haven't talked to you in a while. I saw you, you just didn't, you didn't look yourself. You wasn't talking yourself. So,
Yeah, and a lot of times the Holy Spirit give us that unction to do that.
Right,
And we just have to
absolutely.
follow the Holy Spirit. When they place somebody on our heart, is on our mind, reach out to them.
right.
Make sure they're doing fine.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're gonna talk about today positive mental attitude, because a positive mental attitude really helps us to overcome some of the depression and anxiety that we may find ourselves in. So our mental health is associated with how we handle suicidal thoughts. It really is. This morning, like I said, we're going to talk about having a positive mental attitude, Jackie.
And yes, and because they are associated with our thoughts, they're our emotions and our feelings. And if they're not handled correctly, they're not handled well, they can cause some unhealthy behaviors and habits in our lives. So they can reap havoc in our lives. But,
Most definitely.
and that's why it's so important to have that relationship with God and making sure that we're keeping our mind on Him, and we're casting down negative negative thoughts, and that's what He says, do cast them down.
That's right.
But let's be real. People have real issues.
Most definitely.
They have real problems. They have real stories.
Well, it's all real, and that's why it's so important to have some real things in place to
Coping
be able to have
mechanism.
coping
Yes,
mechanism
absolutely.
to be able to overcome healthy coping mechanisms.
Yes,
'Cause some
absolutely.
coping mechanisms can be unhealthy.
Yeah.
Especially when you get into emotions and things like that. But a positive mental, go ahead.
Yeah, but depending on what the habits in your life now, we
Right.
don't have a good positive coping mechanism. There can be some negative coping mechanisms. Let's just take a second. Good morning, Deborah and Deborah Watkins. Good morning and welcome to Help Matters live podcast this morning. Remember, guys, we welcome your views and an opinion. The number is 706 592 8862. The number is 706 592 8862. We welcome your views and opinion.
All the time, every time. Listen, a positive mental attitude is what we're talking about now. A positive mental attitude helps you to manage your mental health. It really does. It allows you to realize your full potential to cope with the stresses of life, work productively, and make meaningful contributions to your community. That's what a positive mental attitude. Now, we know we're not naive. We know that, it's a challenge sometimes when you're going through
Right.
things, just those life situations to maintain a positive mental attitude. But on purpose, you have to set yourself up. Say, these are the things that I'm going to think on. These are the things, although I'm going to do the things necessary to overcome or conquer this situation that is trying to cause me to get into depression or anxiety. But a positive mental attitude is what's going to help you do that. It's encouraging yourself that, hey, I'm going to overcome this. I can do this. Positive mental attitude is going to help you come out of that thing.
Yes. And it's okay to say, I'm not okay.
Yes, it
I
is.
need help.
Yeah.
Because we have to take the stigma out of that, especially in our Black community, and say, okay, I'm not okay right now. I need help.
Right.
Not that I'm not seeking God first, but God put people in our place, in our lives
To help us.
to help us. He put people across our path, but people I wanted to share this last week, Coach. People need to know that you care. A person don't care how much you know until you show how much you care. And they need to know that their story can be trusted with you, and they need a safe space
Most definitely.
to share. And we have to be in tune to that, and we have to be empathy to that with people. And like I said last week, people need that. I did that on my coaching session this week. People need to see the light.
That's it.
They need to see the salt. We are the salt of the earth. We are that light, and they need to see that. They don't need something that's already looking like what they're going through. They need to see light. They need to see the Christ in us.
Most definitely, Jack. And as you're saying, maintaining a positive mental attitude, it includes connecting with others. It's very, very critical that we connect with others. We want to stay positive as much as we can. We want to help others. You know, when you're going through, who can you help during this time when you're going through? Help somebody else. You know, that'll help you maintain a positive mental attitude. That'll give you something to do to occupy that space, you know, in your mind that's really causing you to be depressed or have anxieties about different things.
Sometimes, Coach, that can be hard to push forward to.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going through, and I'm supposed to help somebody else,
Yeah.
and but when we think about our Jesus,
Yeah. What about me? What
know,
was that movie?
I-
Dream Girls.
yeah.
Yeah. Where everybody was getting theirs, and she was like, "What about me?"
Yes, and so we have George Myers say, "What about me? What about me? What about me?" And you just helping someone else when you're going through and you're pushing through, but you still have the resilience, and you're still able to reach out
Most
and
definitely.
help.
We have to
someone
remember
else.
Job too, in that. You know, when Job prayed for his friends, his whole situation flipped. You know,
Wow.
God flipped his whole situation
Wow.
because he was going through. He
Yeah.
was losing everything, and he stopped. He prayed for his friends, and his situation from that point changed.
Wow.
You know, so it's so important to help others. So important
Wow.
to help others. Develop
It's a
coping
press,
skills.
though. It's a press.
Oh, it's a press, but you can do it. All things are
I
possible
know it. Yes.
through Christ.
Yes.
Who's
I know that.
All right.
I'm just-
I know you know. Somebody out there may not know it though. And that's why we have to say it, y'all. We
Right.
have to say it. So developing healthy coping mechanisms, like we said, those skills are very important to managing and maintaining a positive attitude. Getting professional help if you need it. All right. I understand Jackie talked about the stigma, and there is a stigma in the community, but because you don't want to be labeled, but it's all about you trying to get yourself to a healthy place. So if you need professional help, then get professional help. Get professional help.
Yeah.
Being physically active, Jackie, eating healthy and getting enough sleep, all of those physical things.
Yes, that affects our mind. That affects our brain. Even just what we're thinking and what we're eating and how we exercise. That affects our mind. It
Most
really
definitely.
does. It affects our mood. So we really have to just watching our diets and the things that we're eating and making sure we move. Exercising our brain. Trying different things, doing different things, practicing healthier habits, try something new, something if you ain't never did something before and you just, let me just try something different, But yes, exercising and eating a healthier diet. And then that healthier doesn't mean restrictions and rules.
Right.
It's just being more mindful of what things we're eating more of and less of, and just being more mindful what we're putting in our bodies more consistently of the time.
And I like how you say consistency and practice. Even when you're trying to develop skills to practice a positive mental attitude, that's what it takes. It takes practice. It takes practice.
You got to put it in. I don't know that scripture with Paul. I mean to cut you off, Coach. That he says, take these things that I have taught you and put them into practice. We have to put them into practice.
That's right.
And we have to be okay. Let me say this. We have to be okay with being uncomfortable for a moment. So we exchanging an uncomfortable moment for something better.
That's good.
So we're disrupting that flesh. So we are making a decision to disrupt this flesh, and so we become uncomfortable. So I'm making it uncomfortable to make a decision to do something better for myself.
There you go. And the more you do that, the more you practice that, the more you gain consistency in that, then the more it becomes a more healthier behavior. That becomes a new habit in your life. So yes, is it going to be challenging to always have a positive mental attitude about things that you're going through? Of course it is. But you made a promise to yourself, hold yourself accountable that I'm going to work through these things. I'm going to work through these issues. And you do that by practicing that. Our mental health determines our overall patterns of our thoughts, our emotions, our behaviors, and our body reactions.
Yes.
Yeah, those four principles, those four elements, is affected by our mental health.
And Coach, I talk about that, with the with those when you said about the mental health determines our overall patterns of thoughts, those repeated thoughts that is consistent over time. You have to okay, God, where is this coming from? What is triggering this? And remember, we talked about this week, we talked about anything can trigger an old experience.
Right.
Like you listen to a certain song, as soon as you hear that song, it takes you back. So whether it takes you back to a good memory or it takes you back to a what? Bad memory.
Mm-hmm.
But then we have to wow. But sometimes we stay there. But let's catch the questions up response here on the chat. Healthy coping mechanism are critical.
Yes, they are.
Yes, and getting enough sleep.
So critical.
Yes. And so, let's go back to the patterns. And so we have to recognize these patterns in our lives, these behavior patterns.
Right. So thoughts, our mental health determines our thought patterns,
Yes.
and that's why, like we say, it's about practice. The way you think impacts your mental health. If you're thinking negatively all the time, you're going to produce negative things around you.
Right.
Matter of fact, if you're thinking negative, you're going to be speaking negative, because what we say starts in our thoughts, starts in our thinking. And then everybody that comes around you is going to be able to feel that. It's going to, feel that negativity on
Negative
you.
vibe.
So when you feel well, it's easy to see life in a more balanced and constructive way, speak nice and everything, because everything's going good,
Yeah.
But when you aren't feeling well, when things aren't going well, it's easy to get stuck, on negative things and ignore the positive things. And that's what happens, Jackie. The positive things really outweigh the negative things, but we focus
On
so much on the negative that we ignore the positive. So we have to flip the script and start paying more attention to the positive things. When those negative things start to try to raise up and overtake you, then you think about the positive things that are going on in your life. Even the negative thing that you're thinking about, pull something positive from it. I guarantee you, if you think about it long enough, you can find something positive about that negative situation.
And let's talk about the body, your body reaction. Pay attention to the intensity of your body. When you're thinking about something positive, when you're thinking about something positive, you're thinking about that song. Coach and I anniversary, our song came on that we had. You know that song.
Very special.
All my love is all I have.
And my dreams very special.
Okay, we ain't gotta go there. But look what it done. It's a positive reaction from our body. But what if that was a negative thought?
Yeah.
Pay attention to the intensity
The body reactions
of
to
your body and the
thoughts.
body reaction.
Right.
And that don't mean you have to go around wearing negative on your face. And soon as somebody come up to you, you immediately, they see it. They see it all over you. So we're not saying don't ignore these emotions. But emotions, and they are flicker. They can they up and down, back and forth. So you have to make sure.
But,
And that's easy said than done now.
Yeah.
Everybody deal with those things differently. in different ways. And where you at? In
But I
your
like how
life.
you say don't ignore your emotions or your feelings because you have to acknowledge it.
Yes.
You can't ignore it because it's just going to build up, and it's going to come to a moment where you just explode. So that's the next pattern that we're talking about, that mental health interferes with, is your emotions and your feelings. Your emotions, your feelings can be pleasant, they could be unpleasant, or they can even be blended, meaning that you may have two emotions
Right.
at the same time. So
Right.
changes in our emotions often accompany changes in our mental health.
Right.
I can be happy, I can be joyful, I can be content. All of these are good emotions that causes me to feel a certain way, that causes my body to react a certain way.
Yeah, we have a comment. Acknowledge them and then take steps to change.
There you go.
I like that.
Love it.
That's why it's good to go back. Having healthy coping mechanism are very critical. Having people in your lives that you have a safe and trusted safe space to be able to call and share.
Most definitely. Thank you for that comment, because so
Yes.
many times,
Thank you, Deborah, for that comment.
so many times we'll acknowledge something, but we'll just leave it there. There's a roach in the corner, but I'm just going to leave that roach right there. He going to make more roaches. So when you acknowledge something that's going on, then you have to put solutions in place to overcome it. Good solutions, good coping mechanisms. So I like that comment about when you acknowledge it, you got to do something about it. We can't just find it and don't try to fix it.
Yes.
Yeah. So those were some good emotions or feelings I talked about, but then you got some bad emotions or feelings that, confusion, boredom, irritability or anger, frustration.
Anxiety.
Yeah.
All of those. And it's how we deal with them. We just had Dr. Benita join us. Good morning, Dr. Benita. You can chime in on this conversation. We're talking about positive mental emotion, dealing with suicide prevention month, and how people to reach out and getting help, and talk about these emotions and having good coping mechanism and acknowledging them, but take the necessary steps to change them. So you can chime in, guys. We have a number. It's 706 592-8862. You want to call in, or you can just share in the chat and we'll put that out. So, because we welcome those views and opinion, guys.
Right.
Good morning, Teresa.
Right. So we're talking about how a mental health affects different areas of our life. We talked about thoughts, we talked about emotions and feelings, and we're talking about how having a positive mental attitude in these areas can help us have a positive outcomes. Behaviors is our third area, Jackie, that we want to talk about.
Right.
Your response to your environment. Sometimes it can be helpful and sometimes it can be harmful. Your response is your behavior to what's going on in your life.
Right.
Now, helpful behaviors is for you to respond. Jackie always say put the space before the taste when we're talking about food, or put the space before what you do. It helps you to respond. So if you're going through something, responding in a helpful way may be to reach out to a friend, to a family member for some support. It may be to reach out to your spiritual family. We talked about physical activity, how that helps. It may be helpful for you to respond that
exercise.
way. Go out, take a walk, do something like
Absolutely.
that.
Yes, we have Dr. Mitchell just join in. He said, respond wisely. I like that. Respond wisely.
Yes.
And that's why I say, and if you just get overwhelmed, like I said, having that person where you have a safe space, a safe place where you can share, I'm having a moment, give that person a call. I need to talk to you, so they can talk you through. I've been there where I had those trusted people in that safe space where I can share. I can share and knowing that, and it helped me through, but they made me aware. They made me aware, but they also gave me the proper steps to change and to move forward. Because when we become aware of these things, now we're responsible for what?
Right.
Changing, doing something about it.
And that's where the problem comes in, because some people are not capable, or some people are just not able,
Right.
because see, we just take these things for granted and think because I can deal with something, then they should be able to deal with it. But no, people are different.
Right.
People are different. And that's why we have to be observing our friends and our family. And if you see that they're going through something, something is just not right, we have to intervene.
Exactly. And it can be something, deficient. Dr. Benita says sometimes lacking good nutrition causes mental
It
changes.
is, yeah.
B12 is a good for the brain in managing mental health and
good.
thoughts. And that's it. And so we talked about diet and nutrition as well. Some things that we're deficient in and we don't know we are deficient in. So we have to, that's why going to the doctor, getting your physicals so you can get those numbers and see where those levels at so you can determine where to supplement, how to supplement, and how much to supplement so you can know that balance on what you can and look at getting something very good and more natural to take instead of something more synthetic, adding things more chemicals, but you want to make sure you know those levels. So, okay, I'm getting the proper, because each one has a milligram. So you want to make sure for your weight and for your blood levels that you're getting the right, you're supplementing
Balance,
well.
right.
Because it's just some supplements are just required, especially as we age.
Right.
But you want to make sure you're supplementing correctly and well.
Right, because your body produces a lot of what you need, and you don't want to overdo that.
Yes.
So we
but
talk.
like I said, as we age, some of those things.
Oh yes,
kinda-
most definitely change. It happens.
We have to.
So helpful behaviors. Now harmful behaviors is, we talked about how helpful behaviors you respond, to these areas by, reaching out to family member, spiritual family, things like that. Harmful behaviors happens when you just react. You just react to things. You react to it by isolating yourself. You react to it by using alcohol or drugs. So we can see all of these things could be harmful to you. Avoiding things that upset you. We talked about it earlier. You got to acknowledge feelings. You got to acknowledge emotions, and you got to be able to talk about things. You can't be a person that shy away from conflict if something is bothering you, right? You
Right.
can't be a person that shy away from
Yeah.
conflict. You
And
got to
like
be
I
able to
said-
talk about it.
Yes. And it's hard for some people to talk about.
Yeah.
Some people are just, are like that. You have those different personality traits, where people just can openly and share. Some people they like to just hold things in and suppress, just hold it in. And so that comes with those different personalities.
Most
So
definitely. Another thing, Jackie, in that reaction area that we had talked about was overly or excessively depending on others or clinging to others. What do you do when they're not there? And that's not healthy anyway, to be so dependent on people that you need them to get over, certain things that's going on in your life. Some people need professional help where they get counseling, routinely.
Yeah.
Where they need that to help them overcome. But when you just have to depend on people in your life, friends, and all the time just depending, that's not a healthy place to be.
yeah.
Because then you can have some unrealistic expectations of people, and then when they don't meet those unrealistic expectations, that's causing things to happen
All
in
right.
your life, thoughts and things to be, and emotions and feelings that we've been talking about.
Yeah,
Right?
we can go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's true. That's absolutely true. So we want to make sure we are not what is that word they use? Become a crutch. Allowing I don't know if that's the right word to say it, but yes, we can. But that's why God is our source.
That's it. That's
God is our source. Yes, He gonna put the people in place, and don't forget the professional help. That professional help that's out there. Make sure you
need it, get it.
You're getting the right help. Seeking God in all things, acknowledging Him in all things, and He will direct the path. So He directs our steps. So we ask Him for the help. It helps. It works. I didn't put it in practice. It does. It works.
So, and that final area is how our body react. Body reactions. There's
Yes.
changes in our heart rate, breathing, digestion, brain chemicals, stress, hormones, muscle tension, muscle aches or headaches. All of these are body reactions to our behaviors,
Yes.
our emotions, our feelings, our thoughts. If they're not brought under control, these changes can cause changes in your mental health. Each of the 4 areas that we talked about, the thoughts, the emotions and feelings, the behaviors, the body reaction, they influence each other.
Right.
So they kind of like overlap. For example, if I'm thinking positive, that's going to cause my body to react and feel relaxed. It's going to cause my emotions to be happy. And it's going to cause my behavior to do something that I would be wanting to reward myself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You want to release that endorphins.
Yeah. So that's what
that-
positive
that-
thoughts will do. Yeah.
Absolutely, because it released that hormone endorphins, and that is the that feel good, happy hormone instead of that stressful hormone,
Most
which is the
definitely.
cortisol. You don't want to release that. So we have to pay attention to the intensity of our body. It gives indication how we're feeling and what even our very thought. Remember, I told you our cells eavesdrop on every thought
Yes, it does.
we think. It reacts to it.
Right.
So that's why we have to do what the words say: cast those thoughts down and bring them under subjection, bring them under order, arrest them, and replace them, like replacing negative thoughts with a positive thoughts. We immediately have to do that. We
Most
can't
definitely.
allow them to just stay there, because if they stay there and they get down in our heart, then other things start taking place. So we have to replace them immediately. Begin to say, no, that's not me. That's not what I used to do. I am, whatever you use that. And sometimes it takes putting little exercise in place, like post-it stick, putting them around your house, and putting it on your phone. Meditation on the word, or just meditation on affirmation, but good word affirmation. Want to make sure you're meditating.
You have to be careful with the
Careful
meditation.
but
Yeah.
you make sure
Right.
that's
Most
another,
definitely.
yeah.
And finally, another example would be negative thoughts. I gave you a example of positive thoughts and how that can affect all the different areas we talked about. But negative thoughts causes your body reaction to be tense. I talked about how muscle aches and headaches and heart racing and things like that. And then your emotions is to feel angry, and your behavior could be to act out in anger. So that's when we produce positive thoughts, it's going to produce positive things.
Right.
If we're focusing on negative thoughts, then it's going to produce negative things. And just keep that in mind. Having a positive mental attitude, you have to practice that. You have to, on purpose, put in the coping mechanism, good, healthy coping mechanism, so your outcome can be positive.
Yes.
Right. So, Jackie, we ran out of time.
I know, guys, this has been so good, and it's been so good, guys. But we have a treat for you guys next Saturday. We do. We're gonna have Dr. Udine Harry. She's gonna be coming on and talking with us all the way from Orlando, Florida, guys.
yeah.
She's going to be joining us and talking about all things wellness and women. So, guys, you want to joke? Well, ain't that we forget men, So we're gonna chime in on that conversation. So she reached out to me, and I'm like, wow. So I said, yeah, that'll be great. So, guys, we always thank you for joining us, and this morning on Help Matters live podcast, guys, and just bringing you information that pertains to your health and well-being, because your health does matter. Our health matters, and our health matters to God.
Most definitely. So we just want to thank you for listening to Help Matters. Please like our Facebook page at Get Fit with Jackie Fitness, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Help Matters Jackie and Coach.
Guys, remember, we're here to help you to be the best you that you can be. We like to leave you with 3 John 2. Beloved, wish above all things that you may prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prosper. Guys, you have a blessed and wonderful day.
Health is life. Your health matters. You matter. In the spirit and the mind. Take time to love you. Live well. Be well.
Let's go.
Health matters to me.
Come on, get up. Cause you tuned into the station for your morning motivation to get your education for your health and your spiritual needs.
Health matters to me.
Yeah, strong will to empower the people, to promote the peace, though. Positive attitudes, behavior, that's a lifelong dream goals.
Health matters to me.
Yeah, health matters, and we're here to help you become the better you, to be the best version you can be.
Health matters to me.
Yeah, and it's time for this classic, fantastic food for your soul. Here's Jackie and Coach Patrick right here. Let's go.